Hi everyone, Jack from Maths Forge here. In today's lesson, we're going to be ordering numbers. So let's take a look at this one-star example. Write in descending order. So descending means largest first, smallest last. So how do we do this? Well, we first begin by looking at the leftmost column. So always look at the numbers to the very far left to begin with. And this is the hundreds column. We can see that in the hundreds column, all of the numbers have 2. So we can't tell just by looking at the hundreds column which number is the largest. Don't forget we want the largest number first because we are writing it in descending order, so largest first. If you cannot tell by looking at the hundreds column which number is the largest, go to the tens column. So it's 5, 7, 6, and 5. And we can see here that the largest value here is this 272. It has a 7 in the tens column, which is larger than any of the other values. So I'm going to go ahead and write that down first, 272. And I'll cross the number out just so I can know that I've used it. Now let's go back again to the tens column. We have 5, 6, and 5. We can see that this 265 is the next largest number. So I'm going to go ahead and write that down next, 265. And I'll cross this out as well. Now when we go back to look at the tens column, we can see that they are both 5. So we still can't tell which one is larger. So now I'm going to go to the units column. The 250 has a 0 and the 259 has a 9. So the 259 is larger. So that's the number I write next, 259. And of course, last but not least, we're left with one value, which is 250, and this is the smallest number. So if we just check our answer, there it is. Write in descending order, largest first, smallest last. So now let's take a look at this 2-star example. It has decimal places in it. We're being asked to write the numbers in ascending order. Ascending means smallest first and largest last. So let's go ahead and take a look at our numbers. I'm going to start with the leftmost number. So we can see in the units column, we have a 1, a 2, a 1, and a 1. And we're looking for the smallest number because it's in ascending order. So we can see straight away that this 2 is the largest number, so we're not going to use it. But then these other 3 numbers all have 1s, and we can't tell just by looking at the units column which one is the smallest. So we're now going to go to the tenths column. This number here has a 2, this number here has a 4, and this number here has a 7. The smallest one there is this one here, 1.2. So I'm going to go ahead and write that down first, 1.2, and then I'll cross it off. And then we're going to look for the next smallest number. So it's between this 1.4 and 1.7. And you can see in the tenths column, this 4 is smaller than the 7. So this number, 1.4, must be the next smallest value. So I'm going to write 1.4 and cross this off. And finally, we have 1.7 and 2. We've already determined that 2 is the largest number. So I'm going to go ahead and write 1.7 as the next smallest number. And last but not least, we have 2, which is the largest number. And because it's in ascending order, we're writing smallest first and largest last. And if we just check our answer, there it is. Now let's take a look at this 3-star example. We have a negative number here, and let's see how that works out. To the right here, I've drawn a number line just so I can illustrate what's happening mathematically. So we're asked to write these numbers in ascending order, which means smallest first and largest last. What you should know about negative numbers is that as you go down the negative number line, so to the left, the numbers get smaller. So as you're going to the left, the numbers get smaller because they have a higher negative value, which means that if you go to the right in the number line, the numbers get larger. And this is how you should think of it. So if you have a digit in the negative numbers that appears to be high, if it has a negative symbol to the left of it, it means it's actually smaller. So by that logic, we're writing this in ascending order, so smallest number first. So this 8 is a negative, so it must be the smallest value as the others are positive. And now the next largest number between 6 and 11 must be 6. And finally, the largest number must be 11, which is the case. And if we just check our answer, there we go. The question has the numbers already written in ascending order. So now let's do another 3-star example. So here we have 3 negative numbers. And remember what I said. If the digit in the negative number appears to be higher, it actually means that the number is smaller overall. So let's take a look in ascending order. So we're going to write the smallest first. So we have negative 23 negative 17 and negative 20. Well, 23 appears to be the largest, but since it has a negative symbol in front of it, it's actually the smallest. So I'm going to write negative 23 first. And then the next smallest number, since it's a negative, is negative 20. And of course, the largest number out of the three is negative 17. So negative 17 is the closest to 0 on the number line. So therefore, it is the largest out of the three. And if we just check our answer, there it is. And we'll do one more 3-star example, this time with decimal values. So we can see here that in the units column, they are all 0, and 2 of the numbers are negative. So we're writing in descending order. So we want to write the largest number first. So I can see that this 0.44 is a positive number, and therefore this must be the largest out of the three since the other two are negative. So I'm going to go ahead and write that down first, 0.44. And the next largest number, you might think it's negative 0.45, but it's not. Remember what we said, if the digits are higher in a negative value, that means overall the number is smaller. So that means the next largest value is actually negative 0.39. So I'm going to go ahead and write that down next. And of course, the smallest number is negative 0.45, since it is furthest away from 0 in the number line. And if we just check our answers, there it is. And that's it for ordering numbers. So just be careful about the negative values. Draw yourself out a number line if you need to, and work off of it.